we need to start treating keffiyehs as Klan hoods. The Molotov cocktail attack on Jewish people marching in Boulder, Colorado was not only predictable, but it was predicted, and nobody cared. It was predicted after 2 Israelis were assassinated in Washington, D.C. because they were Jews. The facts of the attack in Boulder are these. An Egyptian in the country illegally allegedly used a homemade flamethrower to attack 16 Jews. The Jews were marching in support of hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. We say allegedly, but if we are to believe what he told the U.S. attorney in Colorado, he's awfully proud of himself.
Mr. Solomon stated that he had been planning this attack for a year. And he acted because he hated what he called the Zionist group. And when he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again.
There are so many parts of this story to make any fair-minded person's blood boil, including the Boulder police chief's inability to label it a terror attack at all. The evidence pointed that way. He couldn't find the moral clarity. Here is the chief last night when it was obvious to anyone with a brain or a social media account that this was terrorism.
It would be irresponsible for me to speculate right now on motive and other things. We're not calling it a terror attack at this point. Again, it's way too early to speculate motive. I know there's a lot out there on social media, but I ask people just to give us a little bit of patience while we work through a really complex scene.
It wasn't that complex. The guy was chanting Free Palestine. There's Inspector DEI. I'm just wondering how long until the New York Times runs a story like they did after the assassination of the 2 Israeli embassy staffers. Pro-Palestinian movement faces an uncertain path after D.C. attacked. The slaying of 2 Israeli embassy workers cast a harsh spotlight on pro-Palestinian groups in the United States. Activists who were already being scrutinized could face further pushback. Certainly, the Times wrote the same article after Dylan Roof shot and killed 9 at a black church in Charleston, South Carolina. Did the Times write, what about all the Klansmen and their uncertain path? Of course not. But because it's Jews who got hurt or killed, the lack of moral clarity, the whataboutism, the both sidesism is okay. So tonight we deal with a much larger issue, the acceptance and explanation of Jew hatred and violence around America, particularly on America's college campuses, oftentimes not just by immigrants, but by Americans. The protesters wear keffiyehs, to borrow the outfit of Palestinian freedom fighters. I know lots of them. I spent 4 years in the Middle East. Yasser Arafat, former president of the Palestinian Authority, adopted the checkered headdress when he founded the Palestinian Liberation Army way back in the 70s. Since then, there have been thousands of Jews killed in the name of Free Palestine during intifadas wearing keffiyehs. Yet chanting "globalize the intifada" while wearing keffiyehs is perfectly acceptable in America. In fact, multiple graduation speakers at America's top universities wore keffiyehs, like this speaker at MIT or others at Harvard. So let me ask you this. What if men from the South wore Klan hoods or the Confederate flag to Harvard's graduation? How would that go over? College campuses are supposed to be safe spaces for everyone, but now it's except for the Jews. If a student committed a microaggression, they could get expelled. But if a student says globalize the intifada, they're coddled, they're protected. It's their First Amendment. Let's not forget, when Columbia students hung intifada banners on their own school building, that's calling for the killing of people. Yes, there are Palestinians suffering, unquestionably. But they are suffering because of Hamas, Iran, and the Palestinian Authority. Dead stop. They are suffering because of fellow Muslims, not because of Israel or the Jews. We were told over and over that hatred must be stamped out. But when the calls of hate are towards the Jews, that same crowd is awfully silent. Don't believe me? Replace what's happening to Jews in America with any other minority. And tell America, and that includes the legacy media, Democrats in Congress, college presidents, and society, starts treating keffiyehs like Klan hoods. The mainstreaming of hatred against Jews in America will get worse. The murder of Jews will continue.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.